I think most of you already know Congressman Knight has been very active in our community for the last couple of years, attending various events. He was riding in the 4th of July parade. He flipped pancakes at the Rotary breakfast this year. Steve is a military veteran. He served in the U.S. Army after high school. He then went on to work for the LA Police Department for 18 years before getting into the legislature. He served 3 years as a city councilman with the city of Palmdale from 2005 to 2008, after which he went into the state assembly for 4 years and the California State Senate for 2. He was elected to the House of Representatives in November of 2014, was sworn into office January of this year, and he's been in office for about 6 months now, a little over 6 months, and I think it's a big change from local and state representation to be on a national scene, and I hope he'll give us some little details and insights into his new job. Please welcome this.
Hi, John. I think John knows more about me than I do, so that was a good bio. First and foremost, thank you for allowing me to come and speak today. Lisa and I have been on a little bit of a whirlwind these last week or so, hitting all of the places that sometimes when I'm in DC for a week at a time, it's difficult to get out and chat. I do fly back and forth every weekend. So I fly out Monday morning, I fly back Thursday night, sometimes Friday night. When I fly back Friday night and I fly back Monday morning, it gets a little tough. But outside of that, I do get 5 hours away from the phone, 5 hours where I can read a book or do something other than just constantly being connected. So I somewhat enjoy the travel. How about that? But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the services that we had in our office. It's very important to know that your representative is not just a person that goes to Sacramento or goes to Washington, D.C. It is actually an office where you can get services. We deal with the VA, with IRS, with INS. We deal with passport issues. Just about anything that you can think of that's at a federal level that might frustrate you, we can probably help you. If we can't, and if it's a state issue, we have an extremely good connection to our senator, Senator Runner. You have Vanessa Wilk here today, and to our Assemblyman Scott Wilk. It works a little bit as a team. It really does. There's no seam there. If somebody calls my office and says, hey, this is a state issue, but can you help me? Within a couple minutes, we're on the phone to Vanessa or Danny Bazell or someone else that can help us with the state issue. A lot of those questions we can answer because Lisa and I have been in the legislature, but it works very well as a team. I'll give you a quick story. I had a gentleman and his family come to Washington, D.C. this last week, and he wanted to thank me. He said, for 4 months I tried to get a passport. He was born in another country, he'd been living here, and now they were going to another country to visit. And for 4 months he was frustrated about getting a passport. Pat Saraceno in my Simi Valley office took her one day, and they were on course to get a passport, and he got the passport the following day. So in a 2-day period, he got a passport that took him 4 months of beating his head against the wall, trying to figure something out. That is not what we want you to go through. Please call us. We want to help. That is what Vanessa and Senator Runner and Assemblyman Wilk and Lisa and Dante and Wyatt and I do on a daily basis. We want to help you. The other thing that we do, if you come to Washington, D.C., please call me. We have tours that we can set up for you, tours that we can take you on, and we can also do special things. So I've taken a couple of groups over to the Hall of Archives, and they take us upstairs, they sit us around the table, and they start bringing out anything they can think of. So the last group I brought out, they brought us George Washington's first inaugural address that he had handwritten. They brought out Adolf Hitler's will. how that one came out, but and they brought out all kinds of things that are strange. Sandra Day O'Connor's first bar card that she had signed. So we can take you to the Hall of Archives, and it's a fascinating couple hours. Military Academy nominations. If you have a young lady or a young man who is a sophomore in high school or a junior, but if they're a junior, they better really be humping and going, because the junior year is when you apply. Please call us. We can help. We can tell you what we're looking for, because it is a nomination to the congressional office. And we even do an event every year. It's coming up on September 12th. It's going to be at College of the Canyons for the whole 25th district, where we're going to go in from 10 to 12 that Saturday morning, and we're going to talk about how you actually go to the military academies. It is obviously great students, but it's those Eagle Scouts, it's those black belts, it's those captains of sports teams. It's a resume, and some of the kids just think, well, I'm a 5.0 student, so I'm qualified. You know, it takes quite a bit. Okay, so I've been there 7 months. Still have a few problems. We're getting there. Working on a few issues. I will keep this as vanilla as I possibly can. How about that? I know I'm in front of the Rotarians. I was in front of the Kiwanis this morning, so I've learned, yeah. I knew that was coming. I knew as soon as it came out of my mouth, so I knew I was going to say something. You know, the first 7 months you are a little bit eyes wide open, trying to figure out how to move through the process. Even though I was in the legislature of the biggest state, legislature in the union, it is an awful lot of transition. I have a couple of friends that were elected to Congress, and they had never served in any capacity, and it amazes me that they walk around with eyes wide open all day, every day, and it's just a learning process for them. And I think it's going to take them quite a long time. It really is. To understand the process, to understand what you need to do, and to understand what you shouldn't be doing. So one of the first things I did was try to meet people. The California delegation, we have 53 members, and a lot of them I didn't know. And so I've tried to meet everyone in the California delegation, and made some friends on both sides of the aisle, and we've got a good connection there. I've also met some folks that come from other states that I just look up their bios, and I say, hell yeah, I'd like to meet that guy. Sam Johnson was the first guy I wanted to meet. He's an 84-year-old congressman from Texas, 7 years POW in Vietnam, and he was one of the Alcatraz 11, if any of you know what that is. The Alcatraz 11 were the 11 POWs that the North Vietnamese kind of targeted as the biggest problem. Sam Johnson was one of those problems. When he shakes your hand, he shakes it like this because his hands have been broken so many times. He's an amazing man, has a great outlook on life, and I love to sit down and chat with him. I sit down and chat with Paul Ryan. I met Senator McCain the other day and got to speak with him for a while. So that helps me. You know, I'm learning. I'm a freshman, but it helps me to understand what's going on and how to get things done. Our first bill was a small business bill, and it is now in the National Defense Authorization Act. We do believe it's going to pass, and we do believe the President's going to sign it, and it'll help small business to apply for federal grants that previously they couldn't do. It was only the big businesses that could do that, and small businesses will be able to do that. So we're very proud of that. We think that that's going to be successful and helpful. You read the paper today. We talked about the St. Francis Dam. We want to make that an historical site and a 60,000 plus wilderness area. That will be a little bit contentious, and we're going to work through all those issues. I'm meeting with a couple off-roader groups today.